What if I told you that the hidden secrets in the opening of Severance reveal a lot about Mark and Lumen's future? Would you believe it? Get ready to have your perspective on the series transformed. Mark's out taking control of the Inn, the Season 2 spoiler, and a ton of details and fun facts. Come check it out with me after the intro. Hey there, my dear friends, I'm Diogo Alpendra, and welcome to another episode of Watch With Me. As a fan of the series, I created the Severance Rupture profile on the other network to bring all the details and curiosities about the series. And today, in this video, we're going to talk about curiosities and theories about the opening of Rupture that you've probably never seen. And I'm giving you a heads up that starting today, we're kicking off a series of content where we'll dissect everything about Severance over the next few weeks leading up to the second season premiere. So, get ready. We're going to have a lot of spoilers. Alright, here we go. These are 3 fun facts. A bunch of details about the opening of Severance that you had no idea about. The opening shows the different ins, outs, and Marks interacting inside and outside of Lumen. The ins wear work clothes, like suits, shirts, and ties, just like we see the ins of Mark wearing in the series. And the out in the red outfit. The opening of Severance is much more than it seems. Many analyses were made when the series premiered, demonstrating that these colors demonstrate obedience and discipline when related to blue and rebellion when related to red. That's why there's a connection between the in and the out. Now let's share 3 fun facts that you might not have known about the series opening, along with some interesting theories. Get ready! A lot of people have no idea, but the opening of Severance won an Emmy for Outstanding Main Title Design in 2022, when the series premiered. On top of that, the soundtrack that still gives us chills was created by Teodoro Shapiro and also won an Emmy. Surprising, right? It almost feels like a short film with all that attention to detail. The opening was created by the production company Astroweg, with art direction by Oliver Latte and direct involvement from Ben Stiller, who is the main director of Severance, and he definitely dropped hints about what to include in the opening, already thinking about the secrets that would be revealed throughout the episodes. Do you think he left clues for the upcoming seasons? I believe so. Comment down below what you think. Now let's dive into a detailed analysis of the opening. At the end, I'll share the 3rd fun fact, so stick around. We see several Marks in work clothes, which can be interpreted as the different versions of ins. Is it possible that the in of Mark had their memory wiped multiple times, and that's represented by the number of ins in suits? We also see a single Mark in red pajamas, representing their audio, which reinforces the idea that these are the different versions of Mark that exist. Could it be that the Mark Innie had his memory erased several times and this is represented by the number of suit Innies? We also see a single Mark in red pajamas, representing his audio, since its memory cannot be erased by Lum, at least from what we know so far. We see what would be Mark's IN interacting with the trash can and the black goo. In the series, this black goo only appears in episode 3, when Irving falls asleep at work. Until then, we had no idea what that black goo meant. It's only in episode 8, which focuses more on Irving's character, that we find out that the black goo is actually the paint he uses to paint the elevator that leads to the testing floor. In our interpretation, this black goo in the opening could represent the gap between the memories of the ins and the outs, and that's how Irving's out managed to get in touch with his in. In the opening, Mark's out interacts with this black goo, and at one point, it even grabs him, trying to rip off his badge. This could mean that we'll probably see the different versions of Mark interacting in some way in the second season. Whether through integration or other means, they will interact. Excited for that. I'm going crazy over here. When the alt Mark and the Innis Mark cross paths in the snow, you can spot interesting details. For example, the Mark in red, which represents his alt version, carries several Innis as if they were balloons. And where did we see this represented recently? I'll tell you. In one of the images released for the second season, and more recently in the trailer that was shared by Apple, we see Miltech delivering a bunch of balloons with Marcus's face on them, kind of like a welcome back reception for him to the break floor. This scene, isn't it a clear representation of the opening in one of the episodes? I wonder if they had this in mind when they created the opening. Leave your opinion in the comments. Another interesting detail in this image is the footprints left in the snow. While the inn leaves a trail of footprints behind, like you would normally expect, the vault who's in red walks right over the footprints already left in the snow. He doesn't leave footprints, it's almost like he's walking backward. Even the way he awkwardly walks leaves that possibility open. What do you think this could mean? Comment down below. Another interesting detail is that only the Mark in red has the looming badge, as if he's the one who holds access to Mark's mind, and then we see him take over Innie's mind. Could this represent him mastering reintegration? We saw Pit 10 couldn't control reintegration, feeling symptoms and having memories mixed up with relativity, right? He couldn't even distinguish the timing of his memories. But as he mentioned, he was the first to undergo reintegration and didn't take the medication Reg Abbey prescribed. without being able to distinguish the timing of each of his memories. But as he mentioned, he was the first person to undergo reintegration and didn't even take the medication that Rejavi had prescribed. Can Mark manage to take control of this memory confusion? I think so. He's our hero. What do you think about that? After that, Mark is sucked into a syringe and we see Mark's face being dominated by the black goo. This could represent that the black goo becomes a single being, aware of all his memories, like a fully reintegrated entity, will master all his memories. In fact, in the next scene, we see this black goo, which now has the shape of Mark, trying to steal Mark's badge and red pajamas, which falls on the bed next to Mark Innie, being unified in the animation into a single Mark. In our opinion, we will have a reintegrated Mark who is mastering all of his memories for sure. So, let us know in the comments if we've gone too far with these theories and analyses. I mentioned in the title of this video that there are 3 curiosities, right? But first, if you like this video, give it a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications so you don't miss anything. On the producer Astrowag's website, the video description talks a bit about the briefing and the summary of the opening, and we're bringing you some interesting details here. A show about the balance between work and personal life, directed by Ben Stiller and written by Dan Erickson. Severance revolves around Mark Scout, the team leader of a group of office workers whose memories have been surgically divided between work and personal life. Pretty clear summary of the series. Right, now comes the part of the briefing that highlights what we should feel or understand from this opening, an animated introduction that illustrates the struggle of this main character as he navigates a life divided between professional and personal dilemmas. The visual work represents the mystical journey of these different identities, memories, and experiences, grief, loss, and control in one body through the use of surrealism and subtle, ironic humor. So, what do you think? It's clear the creators of the series are really interested, and Astrowag knew how to use that information for the production of this animation, right? Keep following the channel for more analyses on Severance and, of course, plenty of theories about what Dan Erickson and Ben Stiller are cooking up for the upcoming seasons. Make sure to follow the Severance.Ruptura profile on Instagram, where we've been posting analyses and theories since 2022. And if you hadn't seen any of this yet, now you've seen it with me.